Hey guys, it's Georgia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If y'all are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be redoing another old video of mine. I still have a lot of squishies from the first time I did squishy makeovers, so I'm just going to be repainting a couple more of those. I made one for my sister, for her boyfriend, for my work friend, and a couple just for fun. But yeah, I hope you guys like it, and if you do, please remember to like and subscribe and comment down below so I know to make more videos like this. I also will be adding some squishies I make off camera on an Etsy link down below if you wanted to buy something that may end up in a video or may have been in one already. But yeah, I hope you guys like it, so let's get on into it. Alright, so here are the squishies that I'm going to be updating today. I have a little distressed Pop-Tart, a little donut, a ice cream, coffee, something, a very messed up donut, and a little tiny mushroom. So to start all of these off, I'm just going to be sanding each one to make sure they have a nice rough texture so the paint can stick to it. Once the first layer of paint sticks to the squishy, the rest of the paint will stick to the paint itself, but if I didn't do this, I could peel off the whole design that I spend hours working on. With that, it is time to go in. I did 2 layers of just plain white on the front and back of each of the squishies. This just gets rid of all of the texture that I just made, so I have a clean, smooth surface to work on, and gets rid of all of the color since I don't really want to use any of the original colors of this. For the little mushroom, I did add some puffy paint to make sure that it didn't break in half, but we're going to start with the Pop-Tart. So I am just turning this into a more normal Pop-Tart, getting rid of that weird orangey color that it was, making it all one nice neutral. This looks like it could be my concealer color, but this is the same color I use in a lot of my normal painting for sand. So I'm just doing 2 nice thick layers on the top to make sure I get rid of any little bumps and make sure the color is clear and consistent. With the front done, I am just going on and doing that same process with the back. The color I mixed was a little bit different this time, so I am just making sure to do a nice big spread, going over it a second time and bringing it down over the edges to make sure that it blends out together, doesn't look like 2 completely different parts of a pastry. With both of those dry, I can start working on details. It has these 2 little indented hearts on it, which I think are really cute, but I didn't want them to be the same color, so I'm just using some pink matte paint to make it look like a little strawberry icing heart, give it a little bit of character, and I think that hearts and strawberries just go together. I'm not really sure exactly why I think that, but I think it does look cute. I went over this a second time just to clean up all of those edges, make sure it is nice and thick, and with that ready, I can go on with the last few details. I am outlining these strawberry heart parts with a hot pink paint just to clear up the edges since it was kind of hard, and this will also differentiate from the small one in the front to the large one in the back since they do go over each other. And I'm going over that with a toothpick to smooth out all the puffy paint and really make sure that the point at the top and the bottom of both of those hearts is nice and sharp so it doesn't look so much like a circle. While it's not perfect, it is better than if I did not do this, and this way it doesn't add more paint, but I can shape it. In those little crevices, I am adding white and red jam and icing in a way to give it the little inside part oozing out, and I figured this would bring the same strawberry feel, but without being all pink and using the same exact colors. Once the front was dry, I did use the same colors on what would be the same hole on the back side, so the white and the red, and again the toothpick is just to smooth it out. And once that is done, it is finished. It's still squishy, and I think this looks much better than the original because it looks actually like a pastry. Now I'm going on with the donut, the first one on a keychain, and I am just going to be turning this one into a bagel. I know I did that in my first video, but I didn't fully like how that one looked, so I am just going to make a new bagel, make it a little different, do something that I wish I had done in the first one. So again, making sure to use that pastry color, getting it nice and full on one side, and then doing the same on the other side, trying to blend it out since again they weren't perfectly the same color because I did mix them halfway through. But with those done, I can go in with the details. I am once again turning it into another everything bagel, but like I said, didn't like how I did the first one. So for this one, I'm using a slightly lighter brown. I used the same tan and I just added a little bit of black to it and adding dots with a paint stirrer, and then I'm adding little black poppy seeds with a toothpick just so they're a little more controlled and not so dark. I also didn't shade this one like I did the last one, and I think that helped a lot. But once I have all those little dots ready, I can go in and add what I think is going to make it look really like a bagel. I am going to be adding some cream cheese to this bagel. So I'm just using some white puffy paint so it looks like the cream cheese is falling out of the edge and just going all around it. I am going in the bite mark too, and on the inside, again, using a toothpick to smooth some of the bits out. If I'm to do this again, I would take off the keyring part because that got extremely dirty, and while I could clean it, would have been easier just take it off and reattach it later on. But with that done, the squishy is finished. I think this looks much better than my original bagel, and I'm happy it's on a keychain so I can bring it with me wherever I go. Next is this little ice cream scoop that I'm going to be using for my sister. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be, but I decided to turn it into an ice cream sundae for her. So I'm just going to be making one of those old school just silver cups. They use these at like Denny's. They used to use it at Friendly's, but I'm just going to be painting what was that neon pink into a nice silver metal tin in a way. I am turning the ice cream into a sort of chocolate vanilla swirl, so I'm using this light yellow. It is much more pale off camera. I think just the lighting I used mixed with the paint color makes it look really dark, but I am just painting the entire top nice white, making sure to clean up that line as best as possible and making sure it is full coverage, all looks the same so I don't have any weird spots of white. With that done, I need to add the chocolate somehow, so I am going to be using white puffy paint brown puffy paint, sorry, going around the, where the swirls were, going around the whole thing with the puffy paint, and again, like I did before, using the toothpick because this was kind of hard since it wasn't just adding a design, it was following a swirling design. So this just helped me even it out, bring more paint where there wasn't so much, take some out, stuff like that, and get that line really clean. While I didn't intend to do whipped cream in a way, I did want to add some white puffy paint to the bottom to make sure the line was nice and clean. So whether people want to think this is whipped cream, marshmallow, whatever it is, I think it just helped a lot. And finally, just adding a nice little cherry on top. The cherry is extremely unproportional, but I think it is cute. I do like this one better than the original. If I were to do it again though, I'd add a bigger cherry and some sprinkles so it's more clear that it's ice cream. Next is the second donut, which I'm also going to be turning into a bagel. This one I did turn into a bagel for one of my friends at work. I still need to get it to her, but I think it came out pretty cute just painting over it. This one took a couple more layers since the original colors were so dark. And with the front done, going over the back, making sure to get it as nice and thick as possible. This one was a much thicker squishy, so it took more layers since the roughing it up didn't work as well. But once that is done, I am following through with that original icing design in a way. I'm going to be using some orange paint to turn it into an Asiago cheese bagel. I thought this would be cute because that way I didn't have to figure out how to remove the icing, but I also didn't need to turn it into a donut. With layer 1 done, I did go with layer 2. If I were to do this one again, I would be using a darker color for the cheese because it is very light when you see it off camera. And to make sure people know this is a bagel and not just a donut with orange icing, I am putting cream cheese around the edge and on the inside of this one as well. This one did take a lot to clean up, and I did end up adding a keyring later on, which was a little bit annoying, but I still think this is much better than that breaking thing that I had in the beginning. And once it's done, it is all ready to go. It is much thicker, but I think that it works. This last one I put last because it's my least favorite. My sister's boyfriend wanted to have a fun mushroom, and he likes dinosaurs, so we decided to turn it into a like dinosaur mushroom. So I'm using some mint green on the top just to give it a nice new fun color on top, and these paints were very, very pale, so it took a lot of layers. Next time I would definitely use a darker color. While it's still streaky, it is all there, so I'm going to be starting to work on the bottom. For the bottom, I am just using that same orange that I used for the Asiago cheese, just to give a little bit of contrast, make it look a little more fun than just a plain mushroom would have been. Just doing 2 coats of that to make sure it's nice and thick and get the colors as bold as possible, even though it is somewhat a weird combination. And after this, I did go through and I'm just adding a couple of dots onto the top to make it look like a mushroom. Now that I'm looking at it, and even when I handed it to him, it looks a lot like Super Mario egg in a way than it does an actual mushroom. But he thinks it's fun, so that's all that counts, and here it is finished. So while these didn't all come out exactly as I planned, I do think that this set is much better. Again, I have the little squishy Pop-Tart that I think is just so cute, and I think that all of them look much nicer. But I hope you guys did enjoy this. I liked making these. I still have a long way to go with painting squishies because I think I still have a lot I can improve on, but let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this down in the comments, anything like that, so I know what to make. If you also have a certain type of squishy you want, or have something certain you'd want to see a squishy turn into, let me know and I can probably do that for you. But yeah, I really hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. All my other social medias are linked down below as well if you wanted to see more from me and my friends than the every 3 weeks I post on here. And my other social medias are a little bit of different content if you wanted to see some new stuff from me. But yeah, I hope you liked it, and just to reiterate again, my Etsy and Mercari are listed down below if you want to buy something you've seen in a video or may see in a future video. But I hope you guys liked it. Thank you. Bye-bye.